going on, everybody? I go by the name of Kari, and I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on SneakerPhetish. I've been taking a lot of L's, and I mean a lot of L's on the Sneakers app lately. Sound down below, first of all, if you've been taking a lot of L's on Sneakers app too. I don't know what's going on with that app, but it doesn't love me right now. However, I was lucky enough to secure the 5th collaboration from Aleali May with Jordan Brand, thanks to the good people over at End Clothing. And before we get into the sneaker, I definitely want to take a look at the special edition packaging because it's very, very nice. Let's jump into it. Just like we've been seeing with different men's and women's drops from Jordan Brand lately, the packaging, the box actually gives us a little bit of a hint as to what we can expect from the shoe itself. And this time, it's no different. The entire box, first of all, is covered in this light green or jade, hint hint, color. Not only that, but prominently across the lid of the box here, we see Aleali May's signature. Now, this is a big deal. We're gonna talk about why this is such a big deal that Aleali May actually got her signature on this Jordan collaboration this time. On the back of the box, we also see the A that you also saw this on the Khalifa version of the Jordan 1 High Zoom that we saw just a little while ago, Aleali May's 4th collaboration. Not only that, but we got a small gold Jumpman, giving us a little hint into the shoe as well. Now, you pop the top open on this, and you also had this metallic gold paper as well. So obviously we know now what we're getting with the shoe. You got the gold here on the metallic paper, you have the jade on the box. Let's jump into the shoe. Boom. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very small Air Jordan 14 Aleali May Fortune. Man, when I say small, I mean small. This is the last size that I could literally get off of End Clothing, and I think this is a size 5 in women's. So if it's a 5 in women's, what's that make it, like a size 3.5 or something like that? Without further ado, let's take a little closer look at the shoe. All right, starting with the upper here, you have a classic Air Jordan 14 silhouette here, Air Jordan 14 low silhouette for that matter, which we don't really see very often. It's interesting when Jordan Brand takes less popular models and gives them this interesting collaborative treatment. This one, I feel like they honestly knocked out of the park. The entire upper is this really nice hairy suede material here in this sand color, very neutral, and it pops very nicely with the rest of the colors as well. Now, one thing I always love that they do with the 14s is when they make them vented like this. I was never really a fan of the smooth lateral and medial sides of the 14s when they started remastering them. I always like kind of that OG feel with the ventilated sides here, so I really like the way that they did this. Another touch I really like here is that on the shield here on the lateral side with the Jumpman inside of it, you actually have a little pop of jade that's right at the top of that shield as well. I really like how they touched that up. Obviously, one of the main design elements here is the pop of jade that you have going along the midsole and on the teeth of the shoe on both the lateral and medial side. And that's accented, of course, with the gold right underneath that midsole as well in the carbon fiber plates on the lateral and medial side as well. Very, very nice touch. Taking a top down look at the shoe here, again, regular Air Jordan 14 top down look here, black Jumpman in the toe box, a little bit more of that really nice suede in the toe box as well. Really like what they did with the tongue on this one as well. It looks like a big piece of jade with the Jordan engraved inside of it. Very well done. I like how they did that. You get a standard set of black laces, but you also get a set of sand laces with these with the gold tips. Really nicely done here. I think I'd probably swap these out if I had a choice. On the sand laces, I think it goes better with the upper of the shoe and pops a lot nicer with that black tongue. So I'd probably swap these out. Very interested to see what you guys did, if you guys swapped out the laces or if you kept them the same. Moving around to the back of the shoe, you have that classic tire tread Jordan on the back, all in that sand color. Very nice job on the outsole as well. Sand colored outsole with that big pop of gold in the midfoot with that really nice jade Jumpman right in the middle of it, along with that jade 14 at the top of the foot. Very, very nice. And last but not least, the black insole with the classic white Aleali May on the heel. Very, very nice. Again, what's crazy to me about the insole is that they actually replaced the Jumpman with Aleali May's signature. They really wanted to make this sneaker all about her and her past and her history, which we'll get into in just a moment. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the Aleali May Jordan 14 Low Fortune. Now let's talk a little bit about this shoe, its history, its inspiration, and why I think that this could or could not possibly be one of the top 10 sneakers of 2021. Aleali May, we all know her, we all love her. She's an incredible stylist, designer, collaborator with many brands. She's everywhere. A lot of you guys probably already follow Aleali on all of her social media. She's really, really dope. This shoe was actually inspired by the first piece of jewelry that was given to her by her grandmother, which was a bracelet that was made of both jade and gold. Now, the interesting thing about why Aleali May chose to do the Air Jordan 14 this time around was because it mixed a lot of different elements that she wanted to combine together to tell the story that was a little bit deeper and a little bit closer to her heart, which was one about her family. We already touched on her old stomping grounds with her school with the Khalifa Air Jordan 1 highs. We talked about some of her favorite materials with the other Air Jordan high that we did with the fur on the tongue. We talked about various elements from her father's slippers and things like that on her regular Air Jordan 1 high, her OG collection. But this time she wanted to get into her grandmother's and some of her Black and Filipino roots. If you guys didn't watch Behind the Design on the Sneakers app, I strongly suggest you guys check it out to see the full story and her actually putting her grandmothers on there and talking about growing up in Los Angeles, growing up in this culture that mixed luxury along with bike culture and all these other things that she wanted to put all into this sneaker. Of course, the Air Jordan 14 represents speed, but also represents luxury with the elevated materials, with the suedes, the gold lace tips, things like that. So along with the sneaker, a women's collection actually came out as well that was more motorsport themed, which I thought was very timely given some of the other releases that we'll talk about in another video. But with that motorsport theme, you had biker shorts, you had jackets, different t-shirts, things like that. She had an entire apparel collection that dropped with it, and honestly, in my opinion, she knocked it out of the park with this one. She did an incredible job. Now, let's talk a little bit about jade and why jade is such an important stone, not just in jewelry, but just in general. If you guys aren't familiar, jade actually is separated into two different types of stones. You have nephrite and you have jadeite. Now, the way that this jade is colored on this shoe here with the deeper greens here with the light touches of white, I'm pretty sure that this represents jadeite, which actually is the more expensive of the two types of jade. So this sneaker actually is a little bit more elevated even in that right. I'm not sure if everybody even realized there were two different kinds of jades, but this kind of jade I think represents more jadeite. Now jade is a highly sought after, highly respected, and highly coveted gemstone in pretty much all parts of the world, but particularly in Southeast Asia, especially the Philippines. It represents luck, it represents wealth, it represents prosperity, it represents healing. If you guys are into crystals or into crystal healing, jade is used with a lot of healing properties as well. As a matter of fact, if you're into feng shui and stuff like that, it's said that jade should be placed in the southeast corner of your house to represent peace in your home. Some people even go as far as to say that jade can help you manifest certain things in your life, things like money, good jobs, things of that nature. So it makes a lot of sense why this bracelet was given to Aleali by her grandmother way back in the day to represent all of those things that her family wanted to become of her. And based on how things are going for her, I'd say that that jade is working. So who knows? You might actually be wearing a little bit of good luck on your feet if you were lucky enough to be able to get your hands on a pair of these. It's an incredible story for an incredible shoe that was transformed from one of the less popular models, like I mentioned, into something that everybody had to get their hands on. People went absolutely crazy for a Jordan 14 low, and that's not something that you see very often. But when it looks like this, who can be mad at it? So those are the reasons why I feel like the sneaker does qualify as top 10 of the year, but the sneaker may not qualify as top 10 because, as hyped up as the shoe was, unfortunately it was met with a lot of challenges from quality control. A lot of people were complaining about the fact that their pairs had really shoddy craftsmanship, they had paint kind of bleeding into the shoe here, they had glue stains all over it, and that because in typical Jordan brand practice, the shoes might have been a little bit rushed, probably because they were in the middle of making a lot of different sneakers that have been dropping lately. Some people feel like they kind of dropped the ball on what was supposed to be a really special collaboration. I know that for $190, not including tax, we expect for our sneakers to come with a certain level of quality, and I totally get that. But I don't know, guys, for me at the end of the day, these are still absolutely worth the pickup. I don't know anybody who didn't actually buy the shoe because of the shoddy craftsmanship. I feel like there are a lot of people that still got the shoe, but then we're kind of upset about how the shoe looked. It wasn't up to our usual elitist sneakerhead expectations, and it is what it is. We're bougie sometimes with our money, and I totally get it. But are these worth a pickup? Absolutely. Are these top 10? In my opinion, yeah, I think these are going on the top 10 list for 2021, but now it's time for you guys to sound off and let me know what you guys think of the Aleali May Jordan 14 Low Fortune. Are these on your top 10 list? Were you able to cop a pair of these? I know my fellas were going for the extended sizes in these as well, so fellas, if you were able to cop a pair, you're probably rocking it. Let me know if you're rocking them, trading them, selling them, or whatever you're trying to do with them. Sound off down below. Let me know. Of course, right down in the comments, make sure that you click on that subscribe button so we can welcome you into the SneakerPhetish family to make sure you don't miss out on any more heat that comes through like these, because I guarantee you I got a lot more heat on the way. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me here today on SneakerPhetish, taking a look at these with me, unboxing them with me for a couple of minutes. I go by the name of Kari. This is a very small Air Jordan 14 in Aleali May Fortune, and until next time, I'm out.